Hello and welcome to Lingua Musica, where music is the universal language. I'm your host, Joe Kendrick, here at home in North Carolina, and I'm very happy to be joined by Emmanuel Jal, who is with us in London today. Welcome to the show, Emmanuel.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for allowing me to come into your show. This is amazing.
I'm very happy to learn about you and your music and all of your works, your book, and a new movie, a new album. Tell us what's life like for Emmanuel Jal right now.
Well, at the moment, there's a lot of things going on. There's the things that are happening to me, but the way I define success is being able to learn how to govern the conflicts inside you, because every human being is a battlefield. And if you're able to manage that, then you'll be able to deal with the other battles that are happening outside, because the outside battles are meant to try to cripple you inside. And so there's a good success, which I'm happy with that internally. I've managed to find a way to deal with issues based from my past experience. And now what I'm trying to do is use my experiences for social emotional learning. And in that process, it brought in other positive things that are impacting my life and making my voice broader, that I'm also using to help children benefit back in Africa, South Sudan, Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda. I mean Rwanda, not Burundi. So
Well, you've got an amazing story from your childhood to where you are now. Can you tell us a little bit about the movie that you've got now? It's called The Good Lie, and it's just been released.
well, the movie Good Lie, it's a story about the lost boys of South Sudan. It's and if you go deeper, you find it's like my story. It's the story of my sisters, the stories of my brothers and sisters. It become the story of my nation. And in the process, it's keep changing because a lot of people get keep coming in. It becomes the story of humanity, human beings helping each other. And so I played a role of somebody called Paul, a highly emotional young person who's always in trouble by questioning the system and why are things like this and that. And so, and it's followed the lives of how these young people escaped war from when they were kids, how they saw their village turned down into ashes, how the war robbed the soul of their entire home, and and how they made their journey into American settlement. So, Good Lie is an amazing movie that I sh- I think everybody should go out there. Not I think everybody who goes and sees it will love it.
Emmanuel, what can we learn from your experiences, and what can you say about the future of South Sudan and the chance for peace? What can be done?
Well, peace is possible, and the only problem we are facing now is our leaders don't understand what peace is, because peace does not come by force. Peace comes with many ways, by reaching the differences between the people, and what those differences could create conflicts. And what are they? The differences could be the needs of the people. It could be the value of the people. So the conflict now in South Sudan is our people don't understand what is justice, what is equality, and what is freedom for all. And the way I define peace is justice, equality, and freedom for everyone. Peace is when there is food on the table, when the basic human rights needs are met, the children rights, the women rights, everybody's rights, right to education, right to have food. There shouldn't be a reason why every kid should starve. You see, an empty belly will not understand law, you know. And so, how to manage conflicts? That is when you'll be able to have peace. So you need the basic human need as a way to start managing conflict, so you can tell the people the future is gonna be better. But you can't tell people the future is gonna be better when the women are giving birth and the kids are dying, when they see politicians are pocketing the money. You can't tell them tomorrow is gonna be better when a lot of families are eating 1 meal a day, when they see people driving big cars or when they see their countries has got a lot of oil or a lot of resources. So the government need to be clever on distribution of wealth as a first step for their voice to be stronger so people can gain trust.
Right now, Emmanuel, you're not living in your home country, is that right? What are you doing to help the situation there?
Well, the way I'm helping now is education. I set up a charity called Gua Africa, which work with families, individuals, to help them overcome the effect of war and poverty. And seeing it started, we managed to put young people in school to find them scholarship where people are able to pay for their school fees, where people can talk to them. You know, I was rescued by a British aid worker called Emma McCune. You know, she smuggled me to Kenya when I was a child soldier, and that what she gave me was an opportunity to go to school. And that one became my number one priority for me because I see education can enlighten you. Education is like the key to everything. You know, through education, I managed to discover the truth. And when I discovered the truth, I was able to heal. And in discovering the truth, I had a chance to forgive and let go. Because as a child, when I was trained, I wouldn't know how to define the pain that was inside me that time, but now I could put it in words that I hated Muslims and Arabs and I wanted to kill as many Muslims and Arabs as possible. But now things have changed because I've been exposed to different knowledge, different values and understanding. Look, it's not the Muslims and Arabs who are killing us. Even Christians are terrible Christians because I met amazing people. And that things helped to change my mind to try to see, look, human beings are the same, you know, and when there is conflicts arising, the root cause you'll find it's the value of the people who want to be respected, they want justice, they want equality, or there is not enough food. So when the resources are scarce and the population are increasing, then there's a competition. If people are not smart enough to be creative, to find other opportunities to manage those situations, then it can really destroy a country. And so, as I'm talking to you now, you told me if I can go to my country. My country war. You see, the president of my country lost vision, you know, and robbed the freedom of the people and pocketed. So we had a party that disagreed with itself, where the members of his party were asking, let's transform our country, let's be democratic. $9 billion disappeared. Nothing has been achieved to help the country move ahead. And in that process, he dissolved the cabinet and fabricated a coup where he would like to arrest his board of members. And imagine you have a party, and the party is not your own; it has its constitution. You break the constitution of the party and try to force other people out of it. And so, in the process, a lot of civilians got killed. According to community research, 20,000 uh, civilians from the Nuer tribe were killed in Juba, and that created the war. So now that war that was created, the villagers, the young people, picked arm to fight the government. And you see, the sad thing is where you see conflicts sometimes benefit a lot of people. You see, a country like Uganda, which is American best friend, has an interest in South Sudan, so decided to want to protect the contracts that they sign with the government, join the government, and declaring that the government is legit. So you can't be legit when you turn fire on your people. And so that's the difficult. If I go back home because I'm speaking this truth, then I'm a threat. So basically, and the government would beat me. South Sudan doesn't care what tribe you are, as long as you're speaking the truth, they'll murder you. When I went there for the first time to talk about peace, did a peace concert, I was beaten and I almost died. And they warned me, we don't like activists here. We kill them, basically. We remove their eyes and throw them in the river. And I couldn't believe it. I felt robbed. These people robbed me, my freedom. I suffered, not only them. No one person could say suffered more than the other in South Sudan. And I said, what is revolution? When revolution happened, it was for everyone. Not even those who didn't, It's not just for those who pick arms. It's not just for those who participated. It is for everybody. So now when you say it's for those only who participated, then you beat up the whole point, because you're going to be just like the other person that was kicked out, you know? And sometimes now when I look at it, I prefer the devil that we knew than the new angels that we thought we had, because now Bashir was labeled as a evil, but look, the situation now is 1.5 or 2 million people now are displaced. Half the population of the country is under food crisis. It has never happened in our history. Half the population, you know. Then you get thousands of civilians died in this war. Both the government committed atrocities, and those from the rebels who were not able, who were so angry at the government, also participated, committed crimes too. So you see, when there is war, nobody's perfect. Some people may not be disciplined, they'll try to achieve certain things. But if you look at what the government have done, it burned down the villages. So if for me, if I speak at it, rebels enter an area, they don't burn down the village, they just fight the government and chase the government away. When the government come, they burn down everything. They just burn down everything. And so and that is sad, because they're supposed to protect the thing. They should not burn it down, you know. And also they go and rape women and kill children. And so now this terror is my government is the terrorist now, because I can't even go home. Nobody's allowed to speak their head. And so, but I feel there is hope. Tomorrow is going to come, because the bigger issue we passed it. The one sad thing that is happening is, as we're pushing for peace, you know, my government spent $1 billion on arms, while UN is looking for $1.3 billion to feed its refugees.
What can people do that are interested in helping in South Sudan?
Well, the biggest person who can really make the biggest impact now is the citizens. People like you giving us the voice to speak out now. People writing to their government officials and telling them, look, we care about South Sudan. US can actually make peace happen if they're really interested. They can really put pressure. They can tell Uganda, withdraw your forces from South Sudan. Let's focus on peace. Let's stabilize these people. Because Uganda is there. They don't want to leave. The more they stay, the more they give government confidence to think he will win the war by fighting. And other rebels, other foreign forces are in the country. And so this doesn't give us hope, because our government wants to hire mercenaries to oppress its people. And if the government is strong enough, it doesn't need other people. So it looked like this business deal signed, protected by these forces coming from outside. Yeah, so the the thing is, UNICEF, UN is having difficult time now to actually try to raise funds, like to raise funds to actually go and help the people who have been displaced. Because people think if money is raised, it's going to go into conflicts and it's going to be used into arms. But now it's hard for people to trust. Who do we give our money? And is it going to go into the right hands? Is it going to be used to kill people? So that's the question. So it's different than a natural disaster. Man-made disaster is the most difficult thing to raise money for. So apart from other thing is, I'm still doing music. So I have a new album out now called The Key, and the proceeds of this album goes to an enterprise called the KZ that we founded, me and a leading entrepreneur called Paul Lindley, a founder of a food company for children called Ella Kitchen. And so proceeds from the album The Key goes to this enterprise, and they'll be used to invest in small business owners that will have a positive impacts on children's life. because if we see how economy can affect a neighborhood, so if we have small businesses that have responsibility, that invest in their community, and if they make more profit in the future, they can actually help their country move forward.
Emmanuel, I wish you all the best in your endeavors. The key, and you can find out more on his website, emmanueljal.com. I'm Joe Kendrick from North Carolina, speaking with Emmanuel Jal from London, live on Lingua Musica, where music is the universal language. Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.